me sure I got my buttons together. And we are back. Where we at tonight, y'all? This is the Shattered Illusionz podcast. I am your host, TK McKenna.
Will I take him to the breakers?
I'm excited for our show tonight because we have some of our favorite ladies down here. And it's kind of been a little bit of tips before the show even starts. But you know what? It's cool. We're going to get into what we got to do tonight. Before the show starts, we're going to go ahead, tell y'all to like the video, follow us on TikTok, Instagram, and Rumble. Shout out C. Marty. Go follow his podcast. Let's Brunch is More Crunchy. See you out tonight doing this thing, but we miss you, bro. Glad to have you back. But we do have my other co-host, guy in the background, whatever Oliver does. My man's here. The man, the myth, the legend, Fortune. How you doing, bro?
It's always a good day when you're doing God's work, man. So I'm good. Less than highly favored. Less than highly favored.
And we also have somebody semi-special in the back. How you feeling, Alex?
Sammy, I'm good. How are you?
Waiting for you to come up with the energy because you just Sammy.
It was the Sammy. Shouldn't have said
They about to click off.
Sammy.
And then we have two someones. Are they? Do we call them special, Oliver? Or no.
I say they special, man. They've both been here more than 3 times now. Or either BK, is this your 3rd time?
Probably like my 4th or 5th.
Yeah. So
Actually,
more than 3. That's special. Yeah.
Because BK came back twice. Remember the first time with Takia? Shout out to Takia.
Yep. You're right.
Yes,
The episode messed up, and she
Mhm.
came back, and then she was gone for like 3 months. You know what that happens when women disappear. You know what's going on. Whole different conversation. But we got her back now. And we're
Glad to
happy
see
about
her.
it.
Glad to see her.
She's now on the team, and also we have Destiny, who's been doing her thing. It looks very vibrant and lovely today.
Thank you.
Ladies, you need to take notes. Okay, guys, we want women that wear dresses like that. Those are the type of women that we marry. You know what I'm saying? You guys and all that other stuff. Even if you got a fat, yeah, we'll smash. But you know, we want ladies that look nice, do your hair, do your nails. Don't be a bum. I don't like cursing anymore, but I felt like it was the only word that just hit it.
So, Destiny and BK, how you guys doing?
I'm doing good.
Do you guys have anything to say to the people? They should know y'all by now. So I mean, we know y'all body count. We know it's both 0 and then
500.
0, right? Which one's the 500 one?
The one with her mouth dropped open.
What the hell? What? That was messed up.
And it's so messed up. You don't give Destiny like a bad rap, but she actually is very pure.
I know
and
she's
not-
probably like
It was the,
most
fact that he
pure
was
one.
like,
I
I don't even think I know 500 guys. And then, I don't even think I know 500 guys. Where do you find that?
Yeah. Destiny is like a pure. See, she's full of shit, but she's like a naive full of shit. You know, like she's still very naive about things. And I think that BK is also full of shit, but she also like she has a
though.
She has life experience to back
Yeah.
up her. So I think it's going to be a good kind of conversation to kind of kick things off with tonight.
Not all this yelling.
So pretty much, I'm solid shit, not diarrhea.
Hold on. I'll always say it's like
Write that down.
It's in fact, it's more like pearls of wisdom, like rapping shit. You know, so you have like
Pearls
things.
are old ladies, bro. You trying to call her old?
I am. I have a
Pearls
whole
are
soul.
pearls.
No.
Don't know your pearls.
And Destiny's just straight.
Cuban links, man.
Straight.
You got you.
Destiny's
Straight
just,
what?
she's just like straight, like idealistic shit. This is a real shitty episode tonight.
Like if you could watch a Hallmark movie wife, that would be Destiny. Nice, sweet, bakes cookies and stuff.
Oh, damn, I do bake cookies.
I mean, but Hallmark cards are expensive.
So I'm going to have to just like go on a Christmas tree farm.
I just got one the other day. I'm like, dang, it popped up and shit. I was like,
Wait,
yo.
why have you never bought any cookies, Destiny?
I did bring you cookies. Remember that one time I brought cookies? I did bring cookies.
He don't remember. You got to refresh his
Yeah,
memory.
Damn.
exactly. When did you bring cookies?
It was a while back. I can't remember which episode it was.
So
I brought
when you bring some more?
It's the question.
whenever you want them. I mean, like, just let me know when you don't bake.
Next week.
Okay.
Next week.
I'll go to the store.
Awesome. See, I like Destiny sometimes.
Yeah, man.
All right,
Mutual.
let's get into this episode tonight.
Who
We're
uses
going to
that
talk
word?
about. You want to say Oliver?
Just say I agree. Mutual.
See, it always has to be a backhanded compliment. It just can't ever be anything authentic. Just like, just say, okay, I'll get it for you. That's it. I like that, Destiny. So we're going to talk about the dreaded R word tonight.
Relationships.
Did I say R word?
You did.
You did say R.
Damn, the day.
I ain't gonna fake. I thought you was gonna say, you know,
Yeah.
the
D
bad
word like
Yeah.
divorce.
I was
Hold
like,
on,
dang, bro, that's
let's-
kind of heavy.
Let's take that back. Go ahead.
I don't got a rewind button.
Take 2. All right, break.
We're going to talk about the dreaded M word tonight.
Mason,
Marriage?
George Mason.
That's where I went. But yeah,
Ma-
marriage. Yeah.
Marriage, man. Come on, man.
Yay.
So,
Love that.
I didn't know we was talking about this.
yeah.
You did that on purpose. You did that on purpose.
Listen, man, I got to keep you on your toes, Oliver. If I don't, who will? We know they won't, because this is going to be a bunch of emotional outbursts tonight and feelings, and we don't like that
I
around.
feel like we see eye to eye most of the time now.
I think with BK, because BK got some real life experience. Destiny, you go by what she says, bro. You're gonna be divorced in a year.
Damn.
As a man, woman, you'll probably get your dream guy, but
Yeah.
as a man,
Wow.
she'll put you in a bad spot. She was like, just follow your heart. No.
She
Don't
just
do that
don't.
shit.
She don't know what she don't know.
Your
man.
heart attached to your credit.
Talking about
That's
that
what
right
we
here.
fucked up.
Keep your heart 3 stacks. Keep your heart 3 stacks. So let's start with the basics, ladies. Do you guys want to get married? And if you do or you don't, why? Either one of y'all can go ahead and start.
I do.
I do too.
Well, I'm open to it. I'm not gonna say like if it doesn't happen, I'm not gonna be disappointed because I don't try to live life like that. But I was raised in a 2-parent household. I've been married for 35 years, and I've seen the beauty that comes out of it. So it's not bad. So that's why I think I like. Hey, I want.
Would you say when you was younger, you kind of had more of a, okay, I'm gonna get married, like you was more sure about it, and now you're kind of just like, if it happens, it happens.
Yeah,
Okay. So it's
yeah.
more of an idealist version.
Yeah.
How about you, Dustin?
Oh yeah, I definitely want to get married one day. I'm a big romance person, so that's a huge thing for me. And
Destiny lives in Candyland.
So if you thinking you want to get,
Negative thought
I
involved.
gotta chime in. If you think getting married for romance, the girl, yeah, you in Candyland.
Well, she didn't say that yet. She didn't say that
She
yet.
said because she like
Destiny,
the
why?
romance.
Why do you?
That should
I
be
tried-
the
I
top
tried
one.
that.
That should be the top one, boo.
Sorry.
You shouldn't be the top one because it's not gonna always be cotton candy, glitters, and rainbows. I'm trying to tell you.
Romance is gonna wear off.
This is going to be a good
I feel
episode.
like I'm making her sad, and now it's like, man, see that hurts.
Destiny knows us, though. at
Because
this
even
point.
the
But if
sweetest
she-
guy can piss you off.
But if she was like an ill-hearted woman,
She's not.
I would double down and
Oh.
like dig in. I'd be like, and you'll never, ever see marriage in your life. But with Destiny, I mess with her sometimes.
No,
but
I really
I kind
hope
of feel
you
bad.
get
I don't want to
married.
taint her
Yeah.
view of
And I
marriage.
hope your first
I have a
marriage
very
be your
positive
last
outlook.
marriage. I think
that's what I'm aiming for. 'Cause
yeah.
I was raised in a very traditional family, so being married and finding that person that you're gonna love for the rest of your life is a blessing. And I want to be blessed so I can find that person and let's share life together.
It's
build
so
a
pure.
family
I don't want to
together.
touch it, bro. I feel like I got
But-
to fight
Amen.
the
I used to believe the Notebook love exists. now I'm over
Oh
it.
yeah, the Notebook.
Dear
Oh,
John,
yeah.
did y'all see Dear John?
I love that
That
movie,
was
too,
a
by the
nice
way.
double
I'm
feature.
over it.
So can I'm going to kind of take my thing on marriage right now.
You gonna flambe it.
No, I've gone from like the idealistic, like, hey, marriage is the best. I've gone from Destiny to BK in like two or 3 years. Cause like my first ideal thing, and Oliver, you remember this, I was a really like kind of Christian boy, didn't really have sex, till later in life, things like that. I thought marriage was going to be this euphoric thing. You marry one time, you'll never get divorced, never get bored of the person, things like that. But as I kind of went more to the red pill space and talking about like men's rights and things like that, I'm like, marriage is the devil. Avoid it. It should never happen.
And we're talking about the old red pill, not this new age. We hate all women and all
Right.
women suck. We're talking about the red pill. Me and you found it was like 10 years ago.
Facts.
Before the Fresh and Fizz, before the whatever podcast, back when Rolo Tomassi was just writing books on Reddit.
Shout out Rolo Tomasi.
Yeah,
by
shout
the
out
way.
Rolo, man. And shout out Fresh and Fit too, man.
Shout out
They say
Fresh
good
and Fit,
stuff.
too.
But I'm just saying this was the old age,
Right.
Because we represented something different back then. Truth.
So
These motherfuckers nowadays represent.
I thought that marriage was like this complete scam that men should avoid it. But now as I get older, I always learn that when there's two extremes, the truth is normally somewhere in the middle, right?
Yes.
So I understand now that marriage is a good thing. It when ordained by God and can be a blessing, but it'll never be that pie in the sky. I'm never bored. We'll never cheat. And it's going to get ugly sometimes.
Mhm.
And I think people either take the position of it's going to be all euphoric or it's going to be the worst thing in the world. And it really is really ever one of the others, like I said, in the middle. So
1,000%, man. 1,000%.
What you got? What's your kind of ideas on marriage and everything right now?
You want my personal ideas? You want me to give advice to guys?
Yeah,
First of all, I
want
think
your personal ideas first, and then give advice to guys.
I'm gonna swap it.
Okay.
First of all, I don't think most guys should get married. I think a lot of guys have their priorities all messed up, and it's like a lot of them don't even have themselves together before trying to get a girl or trying to get. Well, and some of them don't even know how to be a man. And there was some things that I didn't even know that a man was supposed to do until I found out later in life, and I just double flipped and I said, "Oh, okay, I'm supposed to." Certain things about being a man you don't learn. I'll say learn yourself first, learn the role of a man, learn what you're supposed to do. Not this whole fake, yeah, real man, not stuff like that, but truly learn like yourself, what you're good at, your talents, things like that, and see what you can offer a woman, number one, and also see what type of woman you need or what situation you want. One woman, two women, multiple women, all those things. So most guys don't have the experience. My perspective on marriage now has recently changed. I remember saying on a previous podcast where I said to D, I said that marriage is the dumbest thing that a person can do. I said that, a year and a half ago or 2 years ago. I've actually changed that now. So my perspective on marriage now, it's for spiritual reasons. But I'll say this. I don't recommend guys do it at all. It's very risky. You putting up a lot of shit. It's honestly not worth it. But just for me personally, in a material possession, time possession, self-development possession, myself, there comes a time spiritually where you start to stall out. And a lot of the times there's only really something, the only way you can really grow is through trying to find that community, find that foundation. That could come through a woman, that could come through church, that can come through anything, whatever. And I'm not some preaching guy, not like that, but just I feel like I've maximized all my capabilities that I can do. I can pretty much make my life whatever I want it. And the next growth for me will be kind of like being committed to a person. It's not even about the commitment to her, it's the commitment to God. And what I can see in terms of growth through marriage in the word of God and how, serving a wife, how you're supposed to be in a marriage, that I can see a lot of growth for me there. And I've just seen it previously with me being in monogamous relationships. Times when I've been with multiple women, stuff like that, it's cool. You kind of know the game, play, whatever, cool. But when I'm committed to one, there's different actions that you take. Just like being like fitness. We both was fat at one time, and then we lost all this weight. There's a certain
Speak for yourself. Go ahead. I'm fucking with you.
I mean, he's right.
I'm fucking with you. Bro.
Nah.
Being a little fat. Nothing wrong with that.
No, there is something wrong with being fat.
Nothing wrong with a little
There's
fluff.
there's something wrong with being fat. Be in shape, guys. That don't mean you got perfect 24/7, but I'm just saying, and women, y'all definitely need to be in shape because, hey, y'all got to look fucking good for your man. I know I trigger some points and I don't give a but at the same time, back to the marriage thing. But when it comes to marriage, though, it's like there's a certain thing that you get through the commitment of marriage and the commitment, I'll say, and the marriage is about God, not about her. So that might trigger some feathers. I'm sorry. But there are certain things that you'll grow through that as a person that you wouldn't get without it. That I've seen the value in. Do I think that's for every man? No. Because if you look at people like Saul that turned into Paul, he wasn't married. He was just going hard for God. But then there are certain people that I think you do stall out in a while. And even with the story of him, he had a thorn, you know what I'm saying? Like, I believe it was in his hip or something. But I always wonder what that thorn was that was never answered. But I'm saying, damn.
I'm going to give y'all some game.
Hold on. Wait, let me finish. But I'm always saying, it's like, I just see Paul, if I could talk to him, I just want to say, man, how did you stall out? Because I was down for that. Being single for the rest of your life, if it came to that, or whatever case of being just serving God, and, dealing with a chick here and there. But if I didn't deal with women, that was cool. But I would want to ask him, like, where was your stall out at? And I think, not necessarily saying he needed a wife, but I'm just saying there's different ways you can grow spiritually when you have community and things like that. So I see more value in marriage now. Will I ever get married? No, because I'll stay single before I get the wrong one. But, I have some prospects or whatever. And if I married one, I mean, you can't be mad. If she's a good one, I'm supposed to be a servant to God. If she deserves it, which we got to go through the vetting system to know how a woman is, to know if she's a good one. But if she's a good one, I want to have kids, stuff like that. The biggest thing I can do to protect her is to marry her. Does nothing for me, but it's servitude to God. And that's how I look at it. If he brought her in my life to serve her, I feel like that's the best way I can serve her at the highest regards through marriage. So that's how I look at it now.
So I wanted to speak on what you were saying about Paul, bro.
Damn.
When they say the thorn, when
my bad, it's hot.
When Paul said he had a thorn in his flesh, that actually was a literal thing. It wasn't a literal thing; it was a figurative thing. It was people assume, like you said, they never said what it was, but people assume it was an eye affliction, like he had something wrong with his eye and everything, and he was wondering why God wouldn't remove the thorn from his flesh.
See, my eyes are red.
Whole different conversation, man. But yeah, we can do a Bible episode too. I think we should do that, bro. I'm cool with that.
Yeah, well, you're more skilled in that than me, bro. I just found Christ 2 years ago,
But
so
man,
I'm
you
not.
talking some good stuff,
Yeah,
though, bro.
we'll see.
How can you get better if you don't talk about it?
Oh, I talk about it, but I'm very careful with what I say because I don't want to misinterpret God's word.
That's-
And I don't want to give the wrong information out there. When we talk about the regular worldly stuff, getting chicks and all that stuff, come on, man. I know that like the back of my hand, getting money. But when it comes to like more spiritual stuff, I want to be very careful and make sure that I understand the context of what I'm saying and
That's
not
fair,
misinterpreting
I
his
said that's
word.
fair enough.
And if a lot of people had that better idea of like actually understanding God's word before talking about it online, the world would be a better place. I agree with you, bro. So, Alex, what do you think about marriage? Like, just from your perspective, you kind of been quiet back there.
I do want to get married. I obviously love those romance movies. I know that's not how marriage is, and I know it's hard. But I do want to get married.
Awesome. So, ladies, I want you to answer this too. The next question: what factors kind of influence your timeline for when you want to consider marriage? Is it like an age, socioeconomic class? You want to be, as Oliver would say, in your career? What kind of influences your decision before you want to get married?
I think my decision is my feelings. Like it has to be a feel. I don't think it's.
That's probably the worst way to go.
No, I'm just saying it's like the time. Like time don't exist when it comes to a marriage. I don't want to put nothing on it. It's literally when an understanding is there, when a commitment is there, when the drive is there, like to keep moving forward, then I could say, okay, we can do this. But I don't want to keep saying, well, I don't want to do this until I'm here. I don't know when I'm ever going to be there. Like, I don't want to put a limitation on something that I can miss based on my own ways of life. Like, hey, I don't want to be married until I get my own house. Well, what if you never get your own house? I don't want to be married until I'm a 6-figure person. Well, maybe what if you like, I just don't want to put like those type of things on.
They actually had a new study that came out. It just came out 2023, and it was talking about that 8 out of the 10 women, I think it was 9, but I think it was like 8, like 82% of women, 8 out of 10 women pretty much that didn't get married, they wanted to be married, but they just didn't know that it wouldn't happen because they would say things like, when I get my house, when I finish my career, when I get this doctor. But what they got to understand is that time is ticking. Yeah. Stuff sometimes takes longer.
So when it's not like feelings like, oh, okay, I want to wake up and get married. Like, no, I just feel like I don't want to put certain things that may happen or may not happen. I don't know.
But I will say the caveat for women, though, and this is where y'all kind of have to really make a decision. Mm-hmm. If you want kids,
mine's already at a wedlock.
Yeah.
So.
yeah, but you know what I'm saying? But like if a woman, let's say if a young girl, like if she's 25 or 26, that's kind of a tough position to be in, man. Like it's like, and if you don't have no kids yet, not to say that you can't have kids in a few years, but if you don't have no liable prospects, like a dude that you want to marry, you might end up just settling for a dude just to have some kids, and you have to kind of make that decision.
Let me clear this up because I was engaged to both, like my oldest and the middle baby. Like I was
wanting. We're not saying that you're not likable.
My thing is I wanted marriage, like with the kid, like I wanted structure. Because like I said, I was raised in a 2-parent household. I seen it's going to be hard, but it was easy when you have a team. Like it was easy. Like if one falls short, the other one picks up. I seen it. So being on this single side with kids is like a single mom with kids. Like I said, half of these people out here are just single people with kids. I'm actually a single mother. So it's a difference. And it's like, it's hard. I wouldn't wish this on anybody.
And I kind of want to go back to that too, just like the whole parent thing, because you said your parents together, 35 years? Mm-hmm. And this is where I'm kind of seeing that marriage is kind of less, but more, it's kind of not a benefit, but a benefit at the same time for this day and age. I'm going to kind of explain. I think that marriages back in the 80s, 90s, 70s, it was a lot easier to maintain those things back then than it is right now for a few reasons. One, a guy could make $35,000, $40,000 a year and provide for a family of 3 or 4 of like a 4 to 2 week vacation, still go out of the country. The wife could stay at home with the kids. It was a lot easier economically back then than it is right now.
Not my parents' story, not to cut you off.
You don't think so?
No, I can actually, and this could be like a single episode of how I grew up, but it was rough, and it actually made me admire marriage more because it was. I didn't have it like
okay, maybe your parents' personal like economics situation wasn't the best,
Yeah.
but I'm saying overall
Oh,
the economy,
the
yeah,
economy
yeah,
in itself,
the
okay.
economy in of itself was a lot easier for men to find a woman back in the day.
Nowadays,
and
you
get
either got to
married.
be the top dog,
or you ain't gonna get
or
nothing,
your
bro.
chick is. Oh well, no. A lot of the time, these chicks are providing for guys nowadays.
But do
That's
you
the new
think the
thing.
government can scare off marriage because they tie in too many of like make it as one? Like if you fall short, that's another reason why,
that's why
I
I
was
said-
like, oh, I don't think I want to get married anymore because you telling me like if he get caught up, y'all gonna snatch my money too and make me fall? I don't think so.
But see, that's what we're trying to say, and I was trying to explain that to Destiny before the show. As a successful man, yeah, women want you and things like that, but we just want sex from y'all usually. So giving a girl marriage, like women don't understand how big that is. You're saying I gotta be sexually monogamous to you forever. When Brittany, Tamika, Shorty with the fat ass that just got graduated from law school, they trying to offer it up. You're mad at me for not taking out the trash or some dumb shit, and all of a sudden you're not giving it. It's like you're the only sexual access I have, and then I'm putting up half my assets, everything I worked for, the overnights I did, the business I started. Damn, and I gotta get that shit to you.
And on top of that, women weaponize the sex a lot of the time too when you're monogamous with them. As
Absolutely,
well.
even though it says don't do that.
Conversation. It does say don't do that.
Yeah.
It's very clear with that.
But that's why they end up losing their man, though, or they do end up cheating on them.
But also, social media plays a huge factor.
And they don't look nice for their man. You gotta look good for your dude, man. I know women get so triggered by that.
Oliver got to rest, bro.
He gonna love me regardless. No, look good. Put some effort into your appearance. My bad, bro. I gotta say.
Nah, you
I'm
good,
gonna have
bro.
Don't be no basic.
Yeah, I'm gonna have my bonnet.
I'm gonna have a bonnet on.
Hold a cup of coffee and everything.
Divorce.
Hey, baby.
Divorce.
What you mean?
I just
How
don't
about you love me? What happened?
No. Marriage ain't
Bonnet
about. No, I love
conversation.
God. I don't love you.
Oh,
That's what marriage is about. I said,
Oh.
I made that very clear. It's about God, not her. But I'm gonna do what He tells me to do for you.
excuse me. I'm
But it also says, hey, you need to look good for me though. That's in the Bible.
vice
Solomon.
versa. Make sure you're looking good too.
That's not in our part. But like I said, you need to study the needs of a man, needs of a woman.
Okay.
That's already your homework. So get that done first, and we got a conversation.
Let me finish this, guys. Y'all niggas is wild tonight.
A little bit.
So also the social media aspect, people want to act like it's not a thing right now, but it really is. Now, don't get me wrong. Back in the day, people still had families across town that you didn't know about till the person passed away. You know, everybody has that kind of story going to Papa's funeral, and then you seeing 3 or 4 cousins you never met before, and realizing the cousin actually is like your half brother or something like that. Whole different conversation. But social media deals with this illusion of options that women think they have, and sometimes guys too. And I think that back in the day, there wasn't so much of a wide open world that made you kind of look at your husband and your wife and say, damn, I could do better, which is a whole different conversation. But it's definitely a lot harder and a lot more factors that make marriage harder this day with none of the benefits also. And like Oliver was saying, now, if I build myself up, I build my businesses, and now the government's obligating you to give me, I have to give you half of my stuff.
That's not fair.
It's not fair at all.
Or even if you conceive a child outside of the marriage, I'm responsible to pay for that kid. You cheated on me, but I gotta pay for this little mother. Hell nah.
And the courts
I think the laws make marriage even more like, like
It makes it even more stupid.
Yeah, like,
But that's why
like us, they're like, hold on, this is not making sense. You mean to tell me like I'm going out here, and it's not right. And I even tell people all the time, like, it's not right.
She can literally be sucking some. You come home to the house that you pay for and literally be like, F you, I want a divorce, and you got to give her half. She's incentivized to divorce you.
And I think that prenup's probably the best thing for any man or woman.
Yeah,
to do.
but nowadays, man, you got some good, you got some good lawyers, man. They can get around them. Man.
For the most part, yeah. But I think that and where most people, what in my research, where most people mess up with the prenup, they don't have terms laid out like yours, mine, and ours. And James Sexton talks about that. He says that every prenup should basically be, you know what you have is yours, what I have is mine. And if we get anything together while we were together, if we have like us while we got married, then we'll split that.
Yeah, split that. That's fair.
But also the cardinal mistake is that most people don't sign that in the presence of a judge, where a judge is saying,
you can get it notarized and everything, yeah.
Or a judge is saying, hey, you know what, you're signing this, you understand that, right?
Because
and you read that out, and then
you're
at
not
that
under
point,
duress.
Yeah, exactly.
He's not big, strong, handsome, and
but
sexy.
I think
and made
a
you
lot
sign
of
it.
times people be so intimidated and don't be emotionally intelligent. They want to put, oh, you don't love me when a guy or a woman present that. Like, you don't think we were gonna be together until we die. We don't know.
Might
Yeah,
not.
but that's
You
what I'm
sucking
saying.
that We out.
But I'm
you
saying,
holding back sex.
when people hear
I'm
that
getting
word,
hurt.
that's the first thing they go to. Well, why would you want a prenup? And it becomes
Follow
an
the Bible and
argument,
you'll keep it.
and it will become an argument. And I really feel like I wouldn't have no problem signing a prenup
But you
because
real though.
I really be wanting whatever is yours, whatever is mine, and yeah, however you can. But see, if you know how to stand on your own square, you ain't gonna have to worry about standing on somebody else's square.
Yeah, and it's like, and even with the whole thing too. So me personally, like I said, I brought up the whole stink of marriage. If I personally got married, it would just be 50. You know what I'm saying? Even with the stuff that I have now and all that good stuff, I would still make it 50 because I plan for her to have my kids. And I don't choose bad women. So it's like at the end of the day, it's like if I chose this chick to give her marriage to, I want to make sure she good, she protected, she got my kids. I'll never be broke. So it's like I'm gonna always find money. So I'm not really too concerned about that. But I do not advise that to guys. The average, hell no. I recommend you stay away from marriage. Don't get shit. Don't get no prenup. But for me personally, that's personally what I would do. But you got to know yourself, though, man. Like that's very dangerous. I would not recommend a guy do that.
And I think personally for myself, I'm with you, Oliver. Any chick that I deem worth enough to have my kids, whether we worked out or not, I would take care of you for life. But that's different than somebody forcing me to take care of you and me doing it on my own free will, my own volition. So that's kind of why.
And then I know, like I said, I want my chicks to be the primary like nurturing person. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like she gonna be with the kids the majority of the time, all that. So I know I'm gonna be paying for most of the stuff. If we divorce or something like that, I know I don't want to put her in a bad position. Sure. You know what I'm saying? Man, God, don't do that. But it's like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, it's just keeping things, make sure she good, you know, and that's it.
That's a key definition of taking care of home, though.
But I had to grow into that.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's hard to tell like a random guy. No, but it's hard to tell that to a guy that's young because I thought the same way. This, why am I gonna get married? I can have her. She gonna give me what I want. She's gonna let me make her the main and have multiple girls. Why? That's what I was speaking like 2 years ago.
I know.
So it's like, so my thing is, it's like I can't be mad at a dude for doing that. Now I don't think I was a bad guy, but it just makes sense. As the highest male prerogative, we want to spread our seed, have the most women, and that desire never leaves. Most women will say, "Oh, well, if you desire the woman, you don't love me." That's not the same. When you guys love a man, y'all can only see that man. We can fucking love you, but if she got a fat ass like Daniel in the fucking body, we better run. Because it's like women don't understand how physically attracted we are sexually. I know it's self-control.
Tossed around too much.
It is, but and most people don't know what it is. They just put their own definition on it, Hallmark. And then it's like, you know, not saying destiny, but just they put their own Hallmark definition on it.
I'm saying destiny.
And they don't understand what it is. You know what I'm saying? But if I had to break love down to one word based on my seeing, I would say pretty much commitment. Because my thing is, it's like when you make a commitment to something, it's like you make a commitment to your kid. You gonna fuck up. You gonna get on my damn nerves. You gonna do some dumb shit. But I'm here for life though. Like I'm here. I'm committed to you. I'm committed to your growth. I'm committed to everything. Yep. That's the closest word that I can see that probably resembles love, that which I have taken to. Most people think it's like, oh, it's a feeling. It just is. No, I can hate your ass. But if I still am committed to fucking do what I got to do, it's different. It's about duty. That's how I look at it.
I think commitment, a sense of duty, a certain amount of reverence. Those are all things that kind of love really is. It's not that Disney Channel, like,
hell no.
I'm always going to love you forever.
I was telling chick, listen.
I also feel like, you know, respecting a person's boundaries.
Oh, yeah.
That's the big one. I feel
in
like
what way? In what way?
If you,
because I'm controlling.
No.
Say no.
No, it don't have nothing to do with that. So like your boundaries. So if you come in and you tell a person like things that are your boundaries or maybe your triggers, and if they, like just saying if they did it right, and you said, oh wait, and you corrected it and said like, you know, I feel like this was a boundary that you crossed, and you kind of like articulate that and actually discuss that with her. Even if that's something that she was used to doing with anybody else, if she decides to stop with you, that's an act of love because she's actually respecting your boundary.
Okay.
That's all. And that's sometimes hard to do because just saying if hypothetically you had some people like, oh, back in the day, grandma's like, don't cuss around me, right?
Sure.
And you will have some people say, man, I don't give this is how I talk. But if you actually know, like, you cuss outside, but when you come here, you change it off, that's an act of love. Like, you actually respecting.
I respect that.
Yeah, so just respecting boundaries, I feel like, is an act of love. Like, that's my definition as well. It's alongside with commitment.
Destiny, you didn't really answer the question. What factors kind of influence your timeline for considering marriage? Because how old are you for the audience?
I'm 25.
I keep forgetting how young you are, Destiny.
Like I said, she's a toddler.
Yeah.
Not a toddler.
She's toddler.
So, what factors influence your timeline?
Being financially stable is a huge thing for me, you know, because I feel like you have to be financially stable before you jump into a marriage. And also, this is just me, just going off my own experience, just like, you know, again, acting single, you got to get that out of your system before you try to act married. 'Cause I know at that point you're working as a unit with your partner. It's no longer just about you. And that's difficult for some people. But like, I know for me, once I get that out of my system and, you know, just make sure that you're financially well-rounded and you're just ready to operate with just that one person for the rest of your life, that's when I'm like, okay, like I have the feeling of I cannot live without you. I'm willing to work through the ugly stuff. I'm willing to be with you forever. And I'm willing to grow with you as well. That's when I get to the point where I'm like, this
Okay,
is
your
the
head
man
on
for me.
swivel. That's
Do
a
you,
good
do you
answer.
think you'd be more of a catch now to a guy, or you think you'd be more of a catch when you're 30, you got your doctorate degree and financially stable?
I would say later because I still have that mentality of, if I'm being completely honest, I like to travel a lot. I like to just do me. And I can't do that when I'm married. I have to think about you, what you want, and move with you. So I think maybe a little later so I can kind of get that out of my system.
Let me
I'm
tell
gonna say it's the
you,
opposite.
type of guys you like, you're more of a catch now.
It's the
Without all that.
opposite.
What do you mean? Because like I have to learn how to just be.
Look at her. What does she mean?
So-
she don't even see the energy
No,
she gives
so
off, the
listen,
feminine energy
so
she gives
listen.
off that
So
guy's
you
like.
saying
Like
the
she don't even see it.
So you said to be financially stable.
Mhm.
I want you to learn
Mhm.
to be financially disciplined, then the stability will come.
Yes, yeah. I
You
think
have to
that's a
be
little better.
financially disciplined.
Mhm.
Once you financially disciplined, like if you say, you know what, I don't need these shoes. I actually want to put this and save this. Oh, I don't need my nails done this week. Once you become financially disciplined, you will always have money.
Okay.
You can always think money is stable, but it can actually plummet and drain out if you're not financially disciplined.
Oh no, I totally get it.
So
But I think what you kind of missed the point too. That's some good advice, BK. We're talking about strictly from a compatibility issue with guys, because I was trying to make this point. You don't even realize you're sitting on the lottery ticket. You don't even realize what you
You don't even
really
see
have.
it.
You see what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like we're
Yeah,
not being full of shit. Your submissiveness, your feminine nature,
Mhm.
those are things
Hey, girl,
that
you ain't
turn
got no
guys on.
kids.
They don't give a fuck. We don't really
That's
care
it.
about your
And
money.
you're still young enough to. If I wanted 6 kids, you could have
Oh
all
no,
of
I'm
them.
financially stable now. I'm just saying for other people.
No, but-
not there. But go ahead.
But the type of man that you would want, the man that you would want that kind of has that career and actually doing is like a mover and shaker and makes things happen as a provider.
Mhm.
He doesn't really care about your money. Your money's nice. It's a cherry on top of a sundae. But like honestly, a man's providing. He doesn't care about you traveling.
I'm gonna say
He
it's more
doesn't
of a.
care.
I'm gonna say it's my bad. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I'm gonna say it's more of a demerit because now, like I said, she's focused on working and traveling, but he wants you to have kids and have a family. He wants you to prioritize.
And that would slow me down. That's what I'm saying. I have to get to a point of like,
But see, that's what I'm saying. When's that point? When you're 30? When is that point?
that's what I was thinking about.
But see, that's what I'm saying. You're more of a catch now because if I wanted to have 6 kids with you, you could have them. But if 30, it's like, okay, we pushing it. We think about special needs now. You know, high risk pregnancies. Can you get pregnant? Like, you're more of a catch now to a guy, the guys that you want. Because like you said, the type of money you make, you gonna want a guy that's higher than that. That's not a lot of guys. So the thing about it is, it's like,
He doesn't necessarily have to be higher, but okay.
but even the guy that's just out here that can even just make it to where you're at,
Right.
you know, or even just a slightly below. That's still a top percentage of guys, even if
Facts.
it's like the top 20%.
Facts.
And those type of guys, they prefer a woman that is like if they want to have kids, especially now. If they don't want to have kids or nothing like that, you might be good. But if they want to have kids and you want to have kids, a family, you're more of a catch now. Like it's not even comparable. I don't care what you acquire through your career. It wouldn't.
Okay.
So do you feel like you admire more so the thought of marriage? Because who's to say if she ever gonna want to stop traveling? So she may end up falling in love with that even more.
Facts.
And I'm gonna say something a little bit
Because
controversial
males usually
too.
come like 4th or 5th on the list. Girls put traveling, shopping, so many things. It was like I forgot the list, but it was like men came in like
You
number
may
4 or
find your
5.
husband on the island.
Let me on the what?
on the island.
Gullah.
Come on, bro.
No, I was just. She said she like traveling. So
I
was
do.
like, you
no,
may
but I'm
just
just
find
saying,
your
like, that's a
husband
consistent thing that
in
I
a
do
travel
nowadays.
moment. That's all. Like
So if she went to travel, let's say to Jamaica or some kind of island, that man ain't gonna have shit. So all you gonna do is become the man in a relationship anyway.
I'm not saying he
He
from
give you
that
some pine
island.
cones.
I'm not saying he's
Wait,
from
I
that
have a
island.
question.
Go ahead.
Dustin, do you mind making more money than your significant other?
She probably will.
No, not at all.
That wouldn't bother you at all,
No.
being the breadwinner?
Okay, being the breadwinner.
That's what I mean.
That's the-
Okay, being the
Yeah.
breadwinner, yeah, I would have an issue with that. I don't know. It's because again, traditional values, the way I've been raised, he's supposed to be able to take care of the household.
But traditional women aren't going around traveling everywhere, and they would have been already married by 25 with 2 kids.
Not necessarily,
Back in the
but
day.
But she said traditional. So traditional, what age period are we talking about?
Yeah.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just
No,
saying
I'm
like
just-
you're much more of a catch now. Like I'm telling you
Okay.
this. I wouldn't give you no advice. I wouldn't give my daughter. Remember that.
Go ahead, BK.
No, it was what she said about the breadwinner. I'm just trying to think about society. I'm trying to be fair, right?
Mhm.
So I'm trying to think like, depending on the occupation, some people just have like a set salary, and then depending on another occupation, that if she fell in love being an accountant and he wanted to be a teacher, I mean, the accountant may make more than a teacher. I don't know. It's just sometimes it naturally falls in where she may make more or he may. Make
This is
more.
what I
Yeah,
love
but
about Kevin Samuels, bro. Hold on, let me get this all real quick. This it's like you guys don't really understand that you kind of already at a point in your life right now where you are kind of establishing your career.
Mhm.
You got a pretty good government job. You're
Mhm.
making a certain amount of money. Just by those standards, this is what women mess up. The higher you go up in your career, the less likely the pool of men that you will want are going to be available. You
Okay.
see? So let's say, just say shits and giggles, you make $75,000 a year.
Mhm.
What percentage of men you think make that kind of money?
10.
Saying too.
I'll give 15. Be nice.
Let's go with 15 for that. Okay. So
So
you have 15% of men already, like you cut 85% of men out automatically. Now we're not talking about things like height, if you're attracted to him, if he's already married, if he's gay,
Stand from IT.
all of
Married.
all of a sudden that 15% becomes like
5.
if that 1 or 2%.
Okay.
So you not only have to find that man, but you have to find that man to make him fall in love with you, and then make him like you had to be attracted to him.
And then you want him to be committed to you. Like that's a huge thing. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Because I'm committed to him. It's only
But
fair.
it's not the same. Our commitment to you and y'all commitment to us is nowhere near
Right
near
now,
the
just
same
made it seem
level.
like it was a lot to
And-
ask for.
And it's the social media aspect. You cannot say that damages relationships because women, and we're all affected by it. We're all being programmed by it to a
Okay.
certain extent. So we all look online and we see people, we see 19-year-olds with Bugattis, or you see Drake traveling Turks and Caicos every week, or you see like this guy that's a multimillionaire, not realizing that the majority of people, that's a very, very, very small percentage of people.
Mhm.
And like, so women will look at those guys and be like, damn, my man should be like that. Not realizing that that's actually just like, you can't even imagine how small of like a percentage that actually is of
Mhm.
men.
Yeah.
And also breaking it down in this is why I love Kevin Samuels. Women don't think about really long-term consequences because you're 25 right now, right?
Mhm.
You don't have any kind of prospect of a man that you possibly could date or marry you. Let's say you want to find a man, right? You have to find that man. You have to go through the courting process, and then you have to go ahead and get engaged, and then you get married, and all that. We don't realize how fast that time actually goes by.
And that's if he wants to commit to you. Like you might be in a dogfight trying to get him to commit.
And people, everybody who's at the end of their life say the same. They be like, damn, I can't believe how fast this shit went. You're going to blink, you're going to be 40 years old.
Yep.
You have to do all that stuff in like a 2 or 3 year period and then start having kids. Where most women are 27, 28, 29, 30 and have no prospects whatsoever.
Mhm.
So I tell women, like Oliver would say, the younger you are, the more you got to start prioritizing the things that you say that you want.
Which is cool if you want traveling in a
Yeah,
career, but
'cause
just
I feel
understand
like-
that comes with a risk.
I feel like now, like you have it made in the shape. Like, as you are a sweet girl, and I could like see like your aura and everything else. No, for real, your
Nah,
aura and
she is,
everything
she is.
else. And it's just like, girl, I was 19 and pregnant. I was a single mom at 20. So my dating, like, I just knew. But I knew when I decided to give life instead of taking it away.
Mhm.
If y'all know what I mean by that.
Mhm.
And that was a very hard decision that I had to make because I'm like, I already knew he already left. I knew what type of time I was about to be on. And I was like, damn, do I really want to just start dating just like with a kid and I'm a single mom? Like I had to pray on it. Like I literally gave my kid back to God because I'm like, God, you won't have to see me through this because I already know the dating pool for me already sucked by me even being at the bar at 21 years old with a 1-year-old. I already knew it was going to be hard for me. Like that was just, it just became bad. So yeah, dating for me for even in my 20s has been like the worst. So when people are like, oh, you never been in a relationship? Shit, I had a kid. I was coming at the table with a big package. But I knew I had to fall in love with being a mom. Like I really had to just fall in love with being a mom because dating became hard for me. Like respectfully.
Man,
So
we didn't have
now,
an episode on that.
so now the fact that you're 25, no kids, got all this, like, yeah, I couldn't even be financially stable like I wanted to. Like I've been working since I was 15. I was a go-getter. I know how, like I wanted my account to build this, that, and the third. But when I had to pour everything into a responsibility, which was my child, I was like, yo, I couldn't get ahead. Like I'm still like trying to get ahead. And I said, man, I just need a break. So when I made that joke, was like, man, I'm ready to be a stay-at-home mom. Shit.
Nice.
Like you really get tired when all the weight is on you. Like the
Facts.
responsibility is literally on me. Like when it came down to doctor's appointments, dental appointments, waking up every day, making sure they bathe, make sure they eat. Like I'm doing all that by myself. So yes, it becomes very draining and very hard. So yeah, it's easy for a nigga to cheat on me because that's not where my priority's at. Like if you have to want me. Like I'm not gonna go checking for you. I'm not gonna go looking for you half the time. Yes, I am in the house. I've been in the house and I am in the house because I'm with my kids. So you have to really just say, I'm gonna just set down my boundaries. And you have to respect that, but I'm not gonna go hunting and being crazy because my kids are my number one priority.
But see, BK, that's what I want you to do. I wish that more Black women, especially in our community, would come down and have those conversations with women.
Ain't ready for that.
That actually say, you know what? We see these girls that get pregnant extremely young. They say, man, I don't need no man. I do it by myself. I'm like, bro, this ain't what you want.
This ain't what you want.
But this is why what women don't understand. They live in the here and now. It's about how I feel right now. I feel like I can do it right now, so I can do it. Not realizing that, bro, raising a kid by yourself is extremely hard.
When I
Yes,
heard
and
I
you're not
was
gonna be
gonna
young
but
forever.
I knew
That's what
I was
people
going to
forget.
be a single mom. I really had to give my child to God. I really had to say, God, you gotta help me do this because I'm about to go crazy. I really had to because it is hard. And I just thank God that, my dad was, he's
Sure.
there to seek me through. And my parents, like, I'm just super blessed about that. But they know I still hold my own. Like when it comes down to it, I still like step up, take care of home, whether if they have Isaiah or, what the case may be, my oldest son, hey, do y'all need money for him? Like wherever they want to take them, I still got it. Like I still show them that y'all not going to take care of my kids because this is still my responsibility.
Do you not know how many women I've had this conversation with over like the last month or 2 months, women that are probably like around my age that had kids now, they will always say, you know what? I love my kids, TK. I would do anything in the world for them. But if I could go back in time, I probably would have waited because it's a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. Girls that I told, because they always ask me for advice, like, hey, what should I do, TK? Should I have the kid or not? Now, I'm always brutally honest with every girl that I talk to, brutally honest. I'd be like, nah, don't do that. You're stupid if you do. Oh, and of course, they never listen to me. And my favorite line is, hear me now, but believe me later. And every single one that I told them not to do that, they're now saying, hey, you was right. And women don't have that conversation with younger Black women. So just start trying to have that conversation. That's why I kind of appreciate you telling Destiny like what it is and what it ain't. And Destiny, you've done good because you're 25 already. Mm-hmm. You're traveling. I think that can have some merit and some degree of like.
And you can travel with a partner.
Open.
Because you can find somebody that likes to travel as well.
That can be some kind of positive impact, but I would just say, just start prioritizing the things that you say that you want. Mm-hmm. So try to prioritize finding the man, understanding emotional intelligence, and actually understand what it is a man's buying, because you can sell what you want all you want, but a man's not buying that, doesn't really matter. The degrees is cool, the traveling, it's cool, but what does the man you say that you want, what does he truly want? So asking yourself those questions.
Okay. Yeah.
Anything, Oliver?
Pretty much hit everything on the head, bro. I think a lot of times too, and a lot of times I see this from women. Guys, we do a little bit more strategy when it comes to like picking women and stuff like that. Women, I think it's because most guys are usually approaching y'all. They think like, well, I ain't got to get no man. I ain't got to get this, and I don't got to this. I tell this, if you want a good one, you actually kind of do got to put in a little bit of work. Mm-hmm. Like you actually have to show like, why should he keep you? Mm-hmm. And it's not hard because half these chicks don't do shit. Like literally, if you just do something nice for him, which triggering, just something just like you just wake up and just make the fucking bed. I mean, you'd be like, oh damn, she cleans. Yes, bro, like something so little. It could just be like just arranging his like I don't know. He got some shit in the bathroom, just arranging his shit in order. I don't know, something that just shows like, oh damn, like she's actually doing this. I didn't ask her to do it. I know that's triggering a woman, but things like that. They're so little, but they mean so much to us because as guys, nobody gives us shit.
Facts.
Money, all that shit. I understand you'll still do that for guys. They'll still go cheat anyway. I understand. I get it.
No, I was gonna say that at all.
That's how I was gonna say.
I got. At least I raised my hand. Let me finish. Let me finish. What I'm saying, the whole point is women don't actually go and try to actually work for the guy that they want to keep. They just say, okay, he wasn't the one. God didn't bring him for me. He did bring him for you, but you didn't work to keep him. So go ahead.
What I was just
Any
gonna
takers?
piggyback on, like, that could be dangerous sometimes too, because I really treat my friends
Just getting up and making
No,
the
yeah,
bed. I'm not
listen,
saying go
no,
get his shit.
No, I'm not saying
Make
that.
the bed.
Like, I could be over my best friend's house and she can still be sleeping and she'll wake up to a clean click. Like, I just do that. I just feel like if I care about you, if I'm in your area of space, I'm gonna help you out, because I know if we all human, we fall short. Like right now, like if it's dishes in the sink upstairs, I would go like it's just the motherly in me that makes me do that. Like, I don't know.
But
like,
how is that dangerous?
It's no.
You get some dish liquid on your wrist.
No, the only reason why I'm
is
saying
that dangerous?
No, listen, and I'm about to say why it's dangerous, because some people, like, if I'm over, just saying, if I want to keep him in a friend zone, right? But I'm actually doing. No, I'm just saying, like, it's.
Hold on.
No, what? I'm just saying, if you're over stuff, I know we talk about marriage, but I'm just saying this is how I treat. This is how I.
Stop. Let her finish.
I'm saying this is how I just treat humans. Like, this is just how I treat people. So I don't want a guy just to feel like just because I just clean the dish, oh yeah, she's the one for me. I just don't.
It ain't even like that.
Yeah,
but the
so
thing is,
but
what I'm saying is, like,
so
let's say
change that SpongeBob tune.
Nah, it's not even like that. But what I'm just saying is, like, if you deal with somebody that deals with multiple women and stuff like that, women ain't giving shit. It's usually like, gimme. I'm saying you just doing something little like that.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, that puts her a cut above. She not necessarily like, I don't put you in the same category as them. Not to say you wifey material, but it's like, I look at you a little bit different.
Yeah, why?
Just off of doing that one little thing.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be honest, and hey, they're gonna get mad at me over this. But a lot of times, and like I said, I've dated pretty much around any type of chick you can name. The foreign ones, sorry, they do that naturally.
Really?
Like,
Yeah.
it's like it's in, like how you just said, it's in them.
Yeah, it's in
They
me.
just naturally do those things, and they don't have and they're actually happy to do it. It makes them happier to love me.
Yeah.
I said, this is crazy. When I dated black girls, vote your own shit. It's your own thing. Hey, babe, can I get a plate? Fuck no, the wing's over there. What?
But see, and that's why I said I was born, like, I was raised differently. Like, I actually was like little as hell, like taking my dad his. Like, we talked about this on an episode, like a cookout, like bringing the person to plate.
Yeah, we did talk about that.
Yeah, and I would bring my daddy up late. Like,
yeah, but I'll say that has to be taught inside a woman, and definitely inside of your household was different, but especially inside of black women, they ain't taught that. I'm gonna get that shit hit. I'm not,
but sure. I would say this. How he was saying,
listen,
like,
you go to a Puerto Rican, a pure Puerto Rican, that's like ingrained in all of them.
I would say for black women on black women.
I would say probably, and this is probably a high percentage, probably 10% of black women would naturally do it.
100%.
So what you just said, we
that's
understand it's not all, but we're speaking in general.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
If you go from a Puerto Rican household, they teach their woman to serve their man. Like, it's like, I know that's triggering, but it's just,
it's not triggering, because I was raised to do that kind of stuff. I was raised by Southern women,
but you're part of the 10%.
Okay, then fine.
So what I'm trying to say is like, it's not cultural based.
Okay.
So even people get on me and they say, like, people always say, like, oh, he likes them yellow girls, or he likes them light bright girls, or he likes them foreign girls. I do, and they always get, but it's true. But it's like, think about this. They're less, now don't get me wrong, they get their headaches in other ways. They're still women, but at the same time, those little natural motherly tendencies, it's like they already come prepackaged with those.
Yep.
I ain't got to train you into that. You letting me be the man. You letting me just lead. You're not being a rag doll. Bitches say, you 20% gonna shut up. No, they'll disagree with me. But the thing about it is, though, they understand you a man. Okay, cool. We will make this decision. But when this falls back, if it falls back, it is on you. I do expect you to fix it, or whatever, which I will. You know what I'm saying? But they let you lead as the man. You deal with a like black chick. You know, we 50-50, right? Matter of fact, I'm 60-40.
Because black women have a hard time being submissive.
They do. And when you're a guy that already has to get everything else in the world, that's one less headache I want to do. Yeah. I'm not going to try to fight with you to make you submit. Okay, Even if I can put you in a submissive state, I'm not going to fight you for that. I'd rather take this girl that just comes over and I just call her, oh my God, I haven't seen you all day. How are you? Like this and that. She's just happy just to be alive. That's what I want to be around. Opposed to I come to you, just... trash over there.
You probably was out cheating anyway.
You ain't a real man. I went to the store to get bacon shit for you. For you. And you thought I was cheating.
What kind of bacon? What kind of bacon?
A Puerto Rican chick would just appreciate. Wow, you're gonna do this for me.
No.
No, baby.
Puerto
I
Rican
got
like
you.
full.
Before
Puerto
I just want to
Rican
know
like
what
full.
kind, so when I have to cook it up for you for breakfast, I just want to know.
Why does it sound like the sound? Of
But I
the
don't think
like
doing
that?
for your man is. I mean, why do you feel like that's triggering though? I don't think that's triggering for some women.
For some,
When your man
definitely,
is-
when-
definitely. If we talk about not even, I'll even say it's not even just black chicks. I'll say most Western women. Period. That is triggering.
If you're-
Man, he can do that himself. He ain't
Oh,
gotta do
no,
this.
no, no,
But if your man is taking
No,
care of
I-
everything he's take care of in the household, it makes you want to do more for him though.
But the thing about it is,
Like if I see my
understand
man out there
that
cutting grass,
dynamic.
I'm like, let me make this man a
She's
sandwich.
talking from a personal standpoint.
but that's what I'm saying. But
you
like
want
that's what I'm saying.
pumpernickel or white bread?
When
But
you
you-
on a no, listen.
But
When
when
you're on a podcast, really think broad. Like
Okay,
really think
gotcha.
like you're
See,
in
she got it. She got
you're
it.
not-
You gotta
yeah.
think general.
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 Yeah.
Fine, I'm sorry.
Yeah. She's in her like her
Yeah.
own feelings with it.
And I don't want
That's what
nobody
I'm
to get
I'm
this the
trying
wrong.
to
And I don't want
relate.
and I don't want nobody to get this the wrong way because everybody thinks I hate black women. No, I just think black women are actually beautiful. But the thing about it is though, I'm not dealing with the BS. And some black women are good. I've dated some black chicks that are phenomenal, beautiful women. But at the same time, most of them they got all. And then here's the big thing people don't talk about: what they're around. Even if I do get a good one, she got some friends that's always up in the air. Girl, why you doing all this for him? Da 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 da. He ain't this. He ain't this. When you come from other type of cultures and stuff, they're about trying to keep you together. They're about trying to like, no, the father, friends, they're like, nah, girl, that's your man. Do your thing. Like, it's encouragement. You come to the West society, they're like, girl, I mean, if he lets you go out for a night, we don't hurt him. I'm just saying.
Lord.
All right, man. Let's move on. So we're gonna talk about
Pumpernickel, by the way.
our smoking
Oh,
mirrors.
where's there going? You're saying,
Oh, that's stupid, bro. So I was bringing smoking mirrors. You're gonna have to read for me because I can't see.
Mhm.
And smoking mirrors, when we typically look at some kind of study and give our honest reaction to the study. So, Alex, yes, see. So the title of the study is boom, 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 boom. 1 in 3. A record share of young adults will never marry. Can you read that a little bit of the first paragraph, Alex?
In 1967, about 85% of 25-year-old women had never married, along with 75% of 25-year-old men. This was the height of the baby boom years. Unfortunately, these marriages also ended up having the highest divorce rates observed in American history. But those rates were also unusual. In 1920, just 70% of 25-year-old women and 50% of 25-year-old men had ever been married. There's no reason to suppose young adult marriage rates ever could have, or even should have remained at baby boom era levels.
Now go down to a little bit, that highlighted portion. Can you read that?
That chart is fucked, man. God damn.
The decline in marriage at age 25 may now be subsiding, but the effects of past delays will continue into older ages. This means that plausibly 1/3 of men and women who turn 45 in 2050, those who are about 18 or 19 today, will not have married. This will have dramatic consequences for American society.
And kind of finish that last part out. Just go ahead and finish it.
It points to long-term fertility declines being hard to prevent since marriage is a major factor shaping fertility behavior. These trends may also result in a whole slew of adverse outcomes as people age, including increased loneliness and isolation. The benefits of marriage for individuals and society are considerable, and thus the cost of falling marriage are too.
All right, now go back to the top real quick.
Okay.
So, guys, just kind of keep in mind what the article is really about. It's just saying that 1 in 3, most adults today are not ever going to marry at any point in time. And you can stop sharing, Alex. I want to keep this in mind for you guys too. The stat is that only 1 in 4 Black women will ever marry. Period. So we have a potential disastrous consequence coming on the horizon for a lot of people. Like I was saying earlier, back in the 50s and 40s and 60s, you could be a single person, work at an average job and retire comfortably. But now we have this thing where inflation's running amok, everything's expensive, groceries are like expensive as hell, and they estimate you need about $2 million to retire before you can retire comfortably. That's right now. Let alone when we're like 60, 65, when it's time for us to retire.
Nigga, by 2030.
It's probably going to be like 10, 15, 20 million type stuff, right? And then they're already forecasting that Social Security is going to run out for us. So the benefits of being married, especially for women, like I said, women don't think about long-term consequences. So they're thinking about, I'm okay right now. My parents are alive right now because most women who are single, they're being supported by one or two people, either the government or their parents. They're not thinking of a life where they're 40 and 50, both their parents are now gone, Social Security's run out, and you're basically fucked. Most women and people, period, who don't get married right now, it's not much of a choice anymore. It's more of a almost a obligation to a certain degree, because most people, if they don't combine resources, they're not going to be able to afford retirement. So what's your honest reaction to the 1 in 3 people who are never going to marry? How do you guys feel about that?
I think it's the truth though. Based on like the whole like conversations of what we were saying now, how our generation's perspective,
It's fucked.
the article is true. Like, it's just, I don't know. And then it's like, it's harder now. The government want more. They changing rules. It's just like, it's
Tax
become,
laws,
it's like a whole cluster, if you ask me. So marriage probably back then looked different because things were different. Like even the rules and everything else. Like now, everything is becoming complicated. I even said, why do the law even have to be in it if I want to be married? Like when it comes down to God's law, like why I just can't take it to God and leave it at that? Why do it has to be so caught up in finances where you stay? Why it's just like the government is too much in your business. So it's like you're married to God and the government. Yeah. Like it becomes too much strain where it's like, damn, it's like as soon as I get married, I was taking 10 steps forward, but now I'm like 20 steps back. As soon as I get married, because if you fall short, I seen it.
Well, you have the spiritual version of marriage, and I think I'm not sure how you can get married. Like, I mean, I'm not religious, but like how you can get married like just under God's law, opposed to
but
I gotta look at how to do that.
Yeah, I think you can too, bro. And remember, the biblical sense of marriage is just that you and I make a commitment towards God.
Yeah,
there wasn't a government involved back in biblical times.
You really don't. It's more like an understanding. Yeah.
But it's like the rules now. Like I even tried to finesse it, and I was like, well, can I go get married in Brazil and just know that I got married by a pastor over there, and then come back to the United States, and I can still have my last name? Like nothing has changed. I just know technically what we did over there, we don't have to bring it back here, so the government won't be in our business. And they was like, technically, legally, you can't do that because if they find it's just too much. So it makes it more intimidating to like, well, it. I don't want to get married. Excuse my French, but like, it becomes stressful.
But I also think that people have to understand, like, and James, we're gonna watch James Sexton in a minute, but he's a freaking awesome divorce attorney. He's like talks about how marriage it like basically fails the majority of the time, why marriages fail. He's like one of the top divorce attorneys like in the country. But he said that people they're not educated about the actual like implications as far as law and burdens of like marriage, because he said that marriage is the most legal significant thing you're going to do other than die. And nobody talks about like, how you have to have certain taxes, what your financial obligation is after that. Right. So, and even a death, whole different conversation. We're not talking about that either, but people jump into this huge burden and not realizing the implications of it. People have to stop doing that. And we don't educate people at all about that whatsoever.
But look at how everybody else lives their lives, though. You know what I'm saying? They do it with their diet. They do it with their working out. They do it with their finances. They just so reckless. They don't think about anything. They don't think about shit. And it's the same thing when it comes to love. Just jump right into shit. Oh, because I love you. That's not enough, though. You got to be strategic about how you want to do things.
Yeah. I mean, and I think that we could talk about something else too, but just like, if they really wanted you to be successful, be married, understand how life really works, they wouldn't be teaching you bullshit in school anyway, because we learn the same things over and over again. Basic math, reading Shakespeare, all that stuff is cool, but how about classes on how to be an effective public speaker, how to file your taxes, understanding basic accounting? Go ahead.
So they do have that, because I actually graduated from the Academy of Finance, but you have to want to do those classes.
But I'm saying
they should be mandatory.
That's what I'm saying. That should be in the regular curriculum for every single public school.
It should be mandatory though.
Right.
But financial education is freedom. They're not going to teach you that. They want you to be a slave.
That's true.
Their goal is to get you programmed into being a slave. Lunchtime is here. This is this. Raise your hand. Sit like the girls. Be a bitch. Don't say anything that has to do with any merit. So it's just training you to be an employee. It's not training you to be a boss, a worker, make critical thinking decisions.
And honestly, there should even be a class on marriage. Hey guys, here's what we're going to talk about marriage today. When you get married, this happens.
Yep.
When you get married, this has the potential to happen.
They don't
When
want
you
us to
get
know that,
married,
though.
you owe this, but nobody knows that until after it happens.
Yep.
And it's sad, but whatever.
I want to say that I just think also in this generation, people are quick to give up. People are not willing to work towards anything, and that's why I can never get to that point. Along with
that's
everything
true.
else.
But the best way is you got to look and see how does a person treat the other. Like, to me, the best person, even, and this can be a partner in terms of male or female that you look for in terms of, especially nowadays. So that's a good point. You have to look and see how do they do everything else in their life.
Right.
If you see that person is committed to either whatever it is, their family, or they're really committed to their job, or they're committed to their fitness, or they have to be committed to something else. Usually how you do one thing is usually how you do everything. If you see that they're committed to that, most likely they'll put the marriage as a commitment as well. So because it's how their brain operates. Yeah. But like you said, if you see a person, which like most people, you're in and out. Oh, this doesn't feel good, I'm gone. Oh, this doesn't feel good, I'm gone. It's like, well,
but it also
goes back your life.
It goes back to media too, because when you have media, TV shows and movies, what do they always show? A movie's always about the highest of highs or the lowest of lows. There's no in between. And that's my point. The majority of your life is very, very mundane. It's going to be the picking the kids up from school, coming home from work, going to the grocery store, very basic tasks. And then when you kind of get into that mundane routine road of life, people think, oh, well, I'm bored now. Newsflash, the majority of life, the majority of days on the earth is going to be very unmemorable. You're going to have certain highs and certain lows. But this is where women are messed up at. They always say, oh, well, I'm not happy. F your happiness, because nobody's happy all the time, especially in a relationship. There are going to be good days, there are going to be bad days, but most days are what? Mundane.
So do you feel like a woman, I'm so sorry, do you feel like a woman should even, like, this is what bothers me in any, like when I hear relationships or marriage or whatever, when they say I'm not happy, it wasn't up to that person to define your happiness. Like, it wasn't like, because you're happy, because he's not going to always make you happy. You're not going to always make him happy. So you better go find happy within yourself. Mm-hmm. And while he's having his moment or you having your moment, they can still be in their like solitude with something, because it's literally not nobody's job to make you happy but yourself.
Yeah. And also too, I think the sexes need to do a better job of understanding each other. Men need to understand how women work, and women need to understand definitely how men work. We are different. I know that's so triggering to people. No, it's not less. Not. I just said not. Never mind. Never mind. No, nobody's less or more than another. But I'm just saying, like, we're different in terms of what we're attracted to, what we do. Women do need to feel like it is more of a feeling to them. I'm not sitting there saying that they should be feeling happy 24/7, but you do have to put things in place. Like they always say, keep dating your significant other. You know what I'm saying? When you're in there, whatever.
Yeah, I agree with that.
There are certain management things, especially you as the man, when you're leading the relationship. There are certain things that I feel like do need to be in place to still keep that same feeling of, we're still pursuing each other, still dating, that desire is still there. That still has to be there I feel like for a woman. For us, it ain't necessarily us is about sex. I know you don't want to hear that, but it's about you giving us sex, and it's about you looking good for us, keeping physical fit. Nobody wants to talk about that, but if you gain weight or something like that, your husband's not going to want to touch you the same. He's not going to want to. If you don't ever look nice for him, if you don't even try to look nice for him, I mean, it's just like all these things. Like I said,
it's the meaning of letting yourself go.
Yeah, like you know what I'm saying. Now, people get pregnant, all this other stuff. I'm just saying, you're just not even trying, dog. It's just bonnet 24/7. But all I'm saying is you have to know the needs of a man and a woman baseline, but then most importantly, you have to know the needs of your partner. Like I think a great book is The 5 Love Languages. I wouldn't be able to deal with multiple women if I didn't read that book, because everybody gives and receives love differently. So if this one is acts of service, okay, all I gotta know is, hey, if I do this thing for her, she's gonna be like, oh my God, it's the greatest thing ever, opposed to giving her time. If this one is time, I know I gotta spend the whole Friday with her because that means the most to her. I don't gotta get her anything. She's not costing me no money, but I know that's important to her. You know how to feed different people's love.
A lot of work to you?
Yeah, it's got to be.
Nah, it's not. It's not. You got to be organized. You got to be managed. You got to be disciplined.
On the message, and you
got
what he's saying.
And you guys got to think about it, man. We've been in this shit for a long time. The only reason why I have changed now is just because I just see it a way to grow myself spiritually. It's still selfish, but it grows myself. But what I'm saying is that no, I'll actually make the argument multiple women is actually more easier than one woman. I'll make that because women act right when they know you got multiple women. It's just how it is. They act worse When they know you're the only one, they start doing that. They start arguing because it's Tuesday.
Facts.
They start getting mad because it's like, oh, well, I made your eggs scrambled, but you wanted sunny side up today. Oh, Peter Paul. Like, it's like, God damn. But if they know you got other chicks, they don't get mad over the little shit. They like, you know what? Nah, it's all good. Like, I can let that go. I just want him to be happy. They treat you at their best. They looking good for you because they know they're like, no, I want him to want me. Like, that's the energy you need to keep, but they don't keep that same energy unless you have multiple women. And it's no way around it, just because the human mind is just going to take you for granted. It's just how it is. Me personally, as a person, I bring it 24/7. Whether it's this spot, ask him. I'm always tired. My eyes red right now. That's why I gotta have my glasses on. But I always fucking bring it in relationships. Hear this podcast. If I'm here, I give everything I have. That's how I do. But I know people do not do that, especially women. They're not gonna bring it 24/7. Whether I marry, to me, marriage and all it don't mean anything. If I'm committed to you, I'm committed to you. It doesn't change shit. But I understand from most people's point of view, man, they just get lazy, they get comfortable, they get complacent. You know what I'm saying? And they waiting for that day when they could just say, oh, it's over, but it's never fucking over. You got to, anything you want, it has to be continuously managed 24/7 or you will lose it.
Yeah.
You got to work it, you got to
It's
cultivate it, and you got to
discipline.
protect it. And protect it meant it, you know what I'm saying? It's like you got to protect the management systems that kept the thing in place of how you got it in the first place. So you got to keep that same energy. How you start is how you got to finish. So I think that's where a lot of people go wrong. And that's why their shit goes faulty, because at the end of the day, you can't start off like this. Start these habits, and then all of a sudden now you breaking habits, breaking change. It's gonna feel different because it is different, but you got to start things that you can keep up. That's the key part, and people, you can't be something you're not, man.
Well, let's take him to the greatest.
So, hey, Destiny, I didn't ask your opinion. What's your kind of thing, your opinion on the article, the 1 in 3 will never marry? How do you feel about
We in
that?
trouble. But no, I agree with it, with everything everybody else said. But
I think like you have to know what you want or whatever, right? You know what I'm
I
saying?
understand.
So it's like you got to put yourself in the best position to win. So at the end of the day, this is just talking about the general public. The general public, especially in the West, are just losers. So it's like, but if you put the intention, you know what? This is what I want. I need to look for, okay, why would a marriage, if you want marriage, okay, what type of person do I want? And what does that person want? And then ultimately, why do most marriages fail? Finance. Okay, cool. So if I know he has to work or something like that, okay, cool. Maybe I won't trip about that as much. Or if it's like distribute, like you have to really, really, truly think these things through of why they won't work. And I think if you take care of the bottom, the top will take care of itself. But you really have to be strategic. And can I work through this with this type of person? How do we handle conflict? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I deal with some chicks are like, no, they want to talk right now. That's how they are. Whatever, cool. I can handle either one. Some are like, listen, just give me a minute because I don't want to say nothing that I don't mean. I've dealt with both. But the thing about it, but you have to know your partner, and that's why it's about servitude, because it's truly about what's going to be the best for this person. I may want to talk right now, or I may want to talk later. But if I know that I'm the leader has to be the one to kind of be like, look, if she got the energy to talk right now, sometimes you got to hold back and just be like, all right, cool, what's up? You know what I'm saying? And you got, because you're leading. That's why there can't be no 50-50. Somebody has to be the more mature one, or the quote unquote leader. Because if you just have 50-50, everybody don't run by the same rules. No matter where you go, any organization, there's always a leader and there's always subordinates. Not that the subordinates are less. The subordinates help the company run more than the leader half the time. But there needs to be, when the final decision is made, who do we go to? And everybody needs to be on the board. Whether you disagree with it, that's not the point. The point is that when you're divided, that's what makes you weaker. At least if we're together, even if you don't agree, we're together in this. You take responsibility for it, but we're still stronger even through that way, though. And that's what it's about. You have to know how to guide through relationships, and that's what most relationships are. They don't put the work in, just like they don't put the work in with fitness. They don't put the work in with getting their money right. They don't put the work in when it comes to. They don't put the work in with anything. So when shit fucking fails, guess why the fucking failed? Because you ain't put no fucking work in. So I think if you do your due diligence and really truly try and listen to the advice that people, the wisdom that we're trying to drop to you, I really think you can find and be successful. But there's a lot of things you'll have to look into yourself that it may be hard to look at, but you got to decide, is it worth what you want? How bad do you want it?
Okay.
Awesome. Let's go into fantasy and nonsense real quick. We're going to get up out of here.
One band, one sound.
It's the GOAT, James Sexton, right here.
Hold on.
Yep.
If you break it down fundamentally, 56% of marriages end in divorce. Like, think about that's the ones that end in divorce. So how many people, what percentage stay together for the kids? Or because they don't want to give away half their shit? Another 10%? That's conservative.
Conservative.
But let's say 20% then, okay?
That's at least right.
You now have a technology that fails 76% of the time. That's insane. That's insane. That's more likely than not. 76%. If I told you there's a 76% chance when you walk out the door today, you're going to get hit in the head with a bowling ball, you would not go out, or you'd wear a helmet for sure. But people just continue to get married. Not only do they continue to get married, there's a presumption that you should get married. And if you don't get married, there's something wrong with you. So if you've got a girlfriend and you've been with her for 5 years, and you say to someone, we're getting married, they go, oh, that's great. You know, they don't go, why? You're happy. Why would you get married? Like, everything's going fine. Why would you put yourself through that? Why would you run that risk? If you say to someone, we've been together 5 years and we've decided we're not going to get married. We're going to move in together, but we're not going to get married. Ooh, what's wrong? You have intimacy issues? What's your problem? Meanwhile, 56% end in divorce. It's literally fits the legal definition of negligence. It's a negligent behavior. The way you define negligence in law school is when what you lose by not doing something, okay, is lower than the risk of harm. It's what's called a BPL analysis. So the burden of not doing a thing is lower than the likelihood, the probability of harm. So BPL, so burden, probability, and loss. Marriage is an inherently negligent activity. It's like owning a lion. Like the likelihood of someone getting hurt seriously by this is very, very high. No one ever says it to you. Because why? Because, and I would say something, I've been doing this for over 20 years, and I still get misty-eyed at weddings. Like, I still really, there's something in me that goes like, you know, maybe it'll work out for these two.
It's just the thought that you want hope. You really want hope.
Fuck hope.
You really want hope for
I
the
have a
good. Like,
question.
that's
Hope
true.
don't pay bills,
Is
baby.
he married? Do you know if he's married?
Oh, that's a good question.
I think,
Yeah,
nah,
his name
I think he's married. He got married again. He divorced his first wife, and I think he's married a second time, if I'm not mistaken. But James Sexton, that's the GOAT right there.
But of course, because we know that anybody that decides they want to get married, we really want it, like, be the percentage that really worked out. Like, so when he said misty eye, I get him. Like, I get that.
But I think, like Oliver was saying, most people really ain't on or about shit. So how you do one thing is how you do everything. You're talking about the majority of people that actually get married.
I don't get misty eye on everybody though.
Me.
You know what I'm saying?
No, not everyone.
Not everyone.
Sometimes you just see it and you just like, yeah, no,
But
I ain't gonna
I
laugh.
think what Oliver said, I'm not going to rehash his points, but just like look at how somebody lives their life.
Yeah.
If they're a person that can commit to something, they show a sense of duty, that's more likely it's going to work out.
That's going to be a better fit.
But nothing's ever guaranteed
Hell
in
no.
life. And that's why people always try to say, oh, I'm going to be the exception. I'm going to be the one that works out. You can't guarantee how another person going to feel the next day.
7 years from now, y'all gonna remember this podcast. You guys remember when Oliver changed and you see who he wanted marriage and all that? And I'll be like, y'all, she took half my shit. Now I'm here to tell y'all the real shit. Book coming out soon. TK run that shit.
But look, that's my favorite thing about people. It's this phenomenon called the end of history illusion.
Run that shit.
It basically says that
I gotta get this money
we
back.
understand. You can look back 5 years ago and see how much you changed over 5 years, but people drastically underestimate how much they're going to change it in the future.
Yeah.
So just because we're together right now and we say we're going to be together doesn't mean that she can't wake up tomorrow and not love me, or my feelings might not change as well. It's a thing that provides on two people. Now, if it's for me and my fitness goals and my business plan, that's 100% on me. Everything that works into it is going to be because it's my fault. Marriage is me and somebody else. You just never can understand what people are going to do after they.
And people gotta go into it with the right mindset. Like, at the same time, it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you getting married, bro, understand what you're doing that shit for. Understand what you're getting or not getting out of it.
Yep.
Understand everything. Like, for me, it's literally to be a servant to G-O-D if he brings me somebody. That's it. It ain't about her. I'm gonna tell her, look, you got lucky with me, like, you know what I'm saying, for real. And you could screw me. But the thing about it is, though, it's like, I'm cool with that because, like I said, that's what I want. Exactly. And most time how people get married, it's like because you complete me. Can't nobody complete Oliver. Like, it's like, you know, at the end of the day, like, you have to be completed yourself. Like, I was cool with being single for the rest of my life and not even having sex for the rest of my life. If I'm good, as long as I'm serving God, most people are not cool with that. I think the best people that do the best in marriage are the people that would be okay if they even didn't get married. The people that need the marriage, that need the relationship, that codependent shit, those are the people that's most likely not going to work out, because as soon as that person does something that you don't like, or they do something that, it doesn't make you feel good, you don't love me. But no, love is a fucking decision. If I decide to marry you, we're here for life. That's it. You know what I'm saying? You could fuck it up, but my decision is final, and you just work within that decision. But most people are not committed to shit. So that's why I say love is more like commitment. It's a decision. Because like you said, you're underestimating how much you're going to grow. But if you have a decision, no matter how much my kid grows, no matter what happens to me, if I'm committed to my kid, I'm committed to my kid. So to me, it's on the same level when it comes to, marriage. And people are not thinking things through. They think this love feeling is going to be here forever. It's not. It's fucking not. But you got to have the decision that when this leaves, I'm still here. And you piss me off, I'm still here. When this happens, I'm still here. And that's what it has to be. And if you're not ready for that, stay the fuck away, idiots. Look at that fucking divorce rate. That's crazy.
But that's my point too, Oliver. People aren't educated about the facts of divorce. Nobody sits you down and says, hey, 50-60% of these rings are actually going to fail. Sometimes your wife's going to actually facts. Sometimes your wife actually going to really piss you off. I ain't going to lie. Sometimes you're going to want to fuck your coworker. Sometimes you ain't going to really want to be with this person. Nobody ever talks about how ugly marriage truly can be. It's just the feelings.
I'd be like, you know how good looking your man is, and you trying to hold out on me?
I feel like
on me.
But it's not realistic though, because marriage is just pretty much saying, hey, we got the ring, we changed last names. That doesn't make you not a human. So these are human traits. Lusting, everything's a sinful act that we naturally, naturally in or something. So we're gonna have lusty eyes, even as women.
Yeah.
If women say, "Oh yeah, I don't look at guys like that. It's only you," they're lying.
Yeah, because you're not blind.
If Drake better be right there, you better fucking choose me.
She gonna choose you, but she sees.
No, she not. She gonna fucking choose Drake.
No,
she not blind.
Let me finish. No, it don't have nothing. No. See, it doesn't even really have nothing to do with that. It's just really the realisticness of people when they think, "Oh yeah, I'm married. Everything turns off like it's a light switch." It's like you're not being real with yourself.
But see,
because if this guy had a problem with keeping his dick in his pants before you married him, he's gonna have that problem even after you marry him and everything else.
Marriage exasperates problems, and
it just exposes
problems. It makes it worse.
That's why I try to trigger your ass on the first date.
But that's why I said know the person that you're dealing with, because if a person if we all have our weak points, you may saying for instance, if you met a guy and he had a gambling addiction, that's probably something that you're going to take in your marriage, because that's something that's not going to stop. If he has a sex addiction, if he had a problem with keeping his dick in his pants even to you, that's something that if you decide to marry, don't be shocked if he said, "Oh babe, I cheated on you." Don't be shocked about that. If he end up saying, "Oh yeah, I have a it's just the list can the list can go on even with women. Just know what you're dealing with, because just because you get married, that doesn't mean it's going to stop because you said I do.
Yeah, and
you have to know what you're coming with. So if I know that I'm dealing with a guy that's a little bit financially unstable, I'd rather deal with that than the one that can't be committed, of keeping one woman. If you say, "Hey, I don't have cheating issues, but I do fuck up the bag sometimes," I make it work with that, because everybody's going to come with an issue. But if you're saying "Oh, well, I know how to be rich or whatever, but I like all these women," some women may take that, but that's not the problems that I want. So you have to just know what you're dealing with. Just know when you get married, it's not going to stop. It may slow up, and it may end up they getting tired and say, "You know what? I just put my player card up." You know what I'm saying? But don't think because you walk down the aisle, this person changed. It's still changing, and still something that comes with an everyday.
But I'm gonna tell you why though. A lot of people don't want marriage. All they want the wedding, but they don't want marriage, or just same thing. They want to be quote unquote they want to get married, but they don't want to be wives. At the end of the day, you're signing up for a duty, homie. It's ugly, and it's gonna be ugly. Yeah, you get your day, you're chosen, all promote. That's what honestly, I wouldn't want no wedding. I don't want none of that shit, bro, because it don't mean to me. It don't mean to me at all.
Your wife is whoever your girlfriend
She's gonna want that, but the thing about it is, but her mindset needs to be in the right place. Understand this shit. And I would say it just like this. Yo, this ain't about no motherfucking cake. This ain't about these motherfucking guests that I don't with this for real. This ain't about none of this. This is about relationship between us and God. Because to me, if you really trying to get married, and if really marriage, the true meaning of marriage really meant something to you, you wouldn't need any of that. Now, here's the thing. I do understand. Beautiful girl, this and that. It's a dream day. I get that. But we need to understand what's first priority here.
Yep.
So if this cake fall through, these guests don't come through, this venue all up. Nope. We said we're going to get married on this date. We're getting married. I don't care if I got to go to the courthouse and marry you. It's about me and you. For real. Like, saying, now, will that happen because Oliver's in charge? Hell no, I got you. But at the same time, it's like, no, it won't. But the thing about it is, but if it did, the first priority is this what your first priority is. I know what my first priority is, and it don't got nothing to do with none of these motherfuckers. Barely even you. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, but it's the same thing. If you're really putting God first, he gives you instructions on what to do with your husband. He's giving me instructions on what to do with you. That's the foundation of what this is. And if that's not what it is, it's about the cake and all this. And chicks are lying and shit. But trust me, I can get to the bottom of that. But the point about it is, though, the foundation has to be.
Last longer than
they do, because it's not for all the
my
extra
parents
shit.
got married in the courthouse.
My parents got married in the courthouse.
You know why? Because it's genuine.
There was a correlation between people who spend a lot of money on marriage and the divorce rate. And it's almost in every case, people who spend a lot of money almost was divorced in like a year or two.
Bro, just think about it. If you're doing something and you don't need no validation for it, this is something you take pride in. This is something you just
Like
want to
going to
do.
the gym.
Yeah. I don't need no cameras. I don't need none of this shit. It's just something that I just do in the darkness, in the light. People get you calling, yeah, it's cool, bro, whatever. But this is something I'm going to do regardless. Every day it's a routine. Bro, I don't need your validation. You're the best thing ever. I know you're the worst thing ever. I know that too. It doesn't matter. It shouldn't change. You want to know something, bro? One of the kids asked me the other day. They said, what if someone said you were the worst teacher ever? I tell them, okay. What if they said you were the best teacher ever? I said, okay. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. I do what I do because of me and my servitude and who I'm here to serve. That's it. I don't care what you think. Now, get the out, but at the same time, it's like it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you do things for you, it don't matter the validation. So the same thing with marriage. If you're getting marriage for what marriage really is, the covenant of marriage, don't none of the extra shit comes secondary. You know what I'm saying? But people lose track of that. They lose sight of that, and that's why relationships up.
All right, man.
I hate America. It's like, I love America actually, but we just got some problems. We gotta just, you know what I'm saying? Just
all right, y'all. Let's get ready to shut this down. Ladies, I appreciate y'all for always coming through.
Yeah, man.
Spend your Saturday night with the Shadow Illusionz podcast.
Why your eyes so big? You know, you seen me go hard like this before.
Destiny, BK, go ahead and plug y'all
That's
social
just like,
media.
what did I do?
Give your last thoughts on the show, everything. Go ahead.
I would just no, because this is a lot. I would just say, just know who you're dealing with. Like, truly be like open communication. Just know who you're dealing with before you get into a marriage, before you even get into a relationship, a commitment. Because I honestly was going to say, whoever you're dating, if you don't see them as a husband or a wife, you're wasting time if you continue to stay, if you're looking for marriage. Because I feel like whoever like your girlfriend is or your boyfriend is, if they're already doing wifely or husband duties, then that's where you can see that now marriage won't feel like a big switch. But when they're not doing husband duties and wifely duties, and then you decide that y'all want to get married for whatever wrong reason and then try to change, that's when I think it shakes the house. So just make sure they're already doing that before you say I do.
And if it's something where you need validation from the outside and it's not internal, you already fucked, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, BK. Destiny.
Appreciate you guys.
Last thoughts.
Oh Lord, what a night!
This is the most fun
Why
you
you
have
looking
all
over
week.
here? It wasn't me.
This is the most fun she have all week, man. You know, she know it is.
Okay, I think so. Last thoughts. Please, people out there, don't fall in love with just the image of marriage. Make sure this is somebody that you really want to spend the rest of your life with. Please vet this person, whether it's just a relationship or a.
Make sure you're cool with serving them for the rest of your life. Serving them, not about you, serving them.
Make sure this person's something that you want to spend the rest of your life with, because again, your life is like your house, and you let the wrong person to your house, they can tear it up and destroy it, and it'll be nothing but ashes. But other than that, I had a great time. Thanks for the information, and yeah, good night.
So when's the wedding, Destiny? We want to be invited. We'll be there. We'll do a podcast exclusive. Guys, you guys remember Destiny on the show?
We're gonna do a live. We're gonna do a live podcast for my wedding.
Yeah,
Oh, my Lord.
Well, like we're here for the Shadow Illusionz podcast. We just want to say that we are responsible
Like
for at least
commentators
one
at my
marriage.
wedding. It'll be
Exactly.
commentators in the booth.
We're like, oh, there she is, Bob. She's coming.
Walking
Look
down
at the
the
beautiful
aisle. Did you
dress.
see that, Jillian?
TK, she looks amazing.
Oh my gosh, this is the wedding of the year.
Oh my goodness. Oh
God.
my goodness.
Alex, go ahead. Last thoughts of the show, Alex.
I just want to say, make sure you guys have those tough conversations. How you guys expect to raise the kids, how you expect the household to run, the religion, anything.
That's important.
Yeah, all that is
Yeah.
important because it can become an issue down the line.
Hell yeah.
It could cause the divorce. So make sure you have all those tough conversations so you know exactly which direction you guys want to.
Don't avoid it.
Yeah, don't avoid
Yeah.
it.
Oliver.
They'll come in 10 years from
That was
now.
beautiful. I like that.
Yeah.
I like
Oliver
that.
You
Fortune.
never said about things I said. I feel like I said some beautiful things.
Because I get traumatized every time you open your mouth, but it's fine.
Go ahead, Oliver, man. You brought the fire tonight, man. I appreciate you. Bro.
I didn't know that this was the goddamn subject. I told you I had a different view on marriage I wanted to talk to you about privately, but it's all good, man. I'm happy.
When's your wedding?
When God
If-
sent him his person.
If I was about to say that's if I'm cool with being single the rest of my goddamn life,
I'm telling you.
but not
No.
not for
Y'all gonna find y'all people.
because yo, that's a nah.
I
Like
got
that's
too many
trust me,
kids,
that's
man.
not a flex for me to get married. That's a more so a boundary. But anyway, though, like I said, hey, at the end of the day, we serve God at the highest purpose, man. If He brings you somebody that deserves that, I would definitely serve them. The highest thing you give is marriage. So at the same time, hey, guys, take this advice. Do I recommend the majority of men get married or men should get married? Period. Absolutely fucking not. Learn yourself. Learn who you are. Find your way in the world first. Build your garden before you even think about trying to add too many hoes in this motherfucker. Because it's crazy, yo. It's crazy. But shout out Illusionz. Happy to be back for a good episode.
Ladies, appreciate y'all. Alex, appreciate you. Oliver,
Yeah, Alex.
definitely appreciate you.
Killing on the ones and twos back there, girl. I seen them angles. You
As
got me
I
up here
always
looking
say.
fine as hell.
That be like
Yeah,
all our
good
time.
side.
To the next time. This is the Shadow Illusionz podcast. Kill the fantasy, build the dream. Love y'all, boys. We are out of here.
Go, girl, be rolling.
Get married, don't get married. Fuck. Do whatever the hell you want. It's Shadow Illusionz, baby.